Hi everyone, Dominga Robinson here from SICC. I'm here today to talk to you about the 2021 Indigenous Language and Cultures Program interim reporting. I've decided to do a little bit of a video to help walk people through this. Of course, I am always available via phone or email should you have any specific questions, but I'm going to take you through the requirements the best I can at this point, and hopefully that makes things go a little bit smoother. So today we're going to talk about the report due date, the required documents, and I'm going to take you through some samples of kind of the information that I'm looking to gather there, as well as we're going to talk about the site visits, or I guess the alternative to those this year given COVID and all of that. The interim report is due January 22nd, 2021. In your contribution agreement, it does talk about the interim report being due in January. This is the specific date that we would like you to submit that by. The required documents, you're going to need an updated copy of the plan. This is the plan that you were given at the beginning of this process that was connected to the contribution agreement. Section 2 of that was a month-by-month breakdown of what was happening and the plan for each month. Now it's time to go back and fill that out with actuals and what happened. The same thing with the budget. We're going to talk about the budget up until December 31st, 2020, as well as projections. Well, we'll see it actually but I'll walk you through that. And also we're going to need a copy of that project general ledger up until December 31st or some sort of official financial reporting. So here's a copy of the updated work plan. I did just mock one of these up. Before I start, I want to talk about how you save this document. Please save it as a Word document and not a PDF when you send this in. And I do ask that you save it as your community/organizational name, 2021 ILC interim report. Due to this being the exact same type of document that you filled out at the beginning, this is a way to help me distinguish it, as well as distinguish your plan from everybody else's, because I do receive a lot of these. So in this, you can see I've started off with the title of my project, and that is going to be the same pretty much for every month. My goal that I laid out at the beginning, which was to develop a lesson language plan with the elders. That's the goal for the month of August. Here's my instructors. And then here's where you're going to start to fill it out with actually what happened. So I held some meetings. I'm talking about those specific dates those happened. And then down here below, I talked about the actual details of what happened. So we brought them together to build that, to try to develop how we're going to do daily integration of language into the Head Start. What we found, we talked about the different types of resources that we're going to want. We talked about how we're going to plan the dates and the camps and the weekly lessons. And we also kicked it off with a ceremony that month and an orientation for the Head Start staff. And so it just gives you a little bit of what happened in August around the project. In below that is the needs improvement, or the lessons learned is like how I like to say it. And you know, in this we found that initially we had planned to have a one-day full sit down with the elders, but they got tired, they're elders, and so we ended up having to break it into 3 shorter sessions instead of 1 long one. Just a simple lesson that could come out of this that may help moving forward, as well as it took longer to develop the lesson plans. But you get the gist of what we're looking for here is a summary of how the project went that month. And I need you to do that for every month up until December. Past that month, we're going to be looking at the refined plan again. What is your plan for January, February, and March to finish the project? Okay, here's a copy of the budget. You have all seen this document. You filled it out again, accompanying your contribution agreement. Now's the time to start to talk about actuals up until December 31st. And so you'll notice in this column, I've entered in some information. This information I will have gotten from my official financial support, whether that be a project general ledger or some sort of financial summary, I would have gotten that information from here, and those two documents will align. So the project general ledger information is the same as what's going on in here, and it gives us a picture of what's left over remaining to be spent by March 31st. Again, the deadline on spending and any expenditures on the financial reporting is needing to be March 31st, 2021. I'm also going to draw your attention to the in-kind contribution section. So in here, I've included in the revenue in-kind contribution of $18,000. That's 50% of the project coordinator's salary. Down here below in the in-kind expenses, I've also put that going out. So what goes in must go out. And at this point, that's kind of how you lay that out there. I'll see now that I have $68,858 left in my budget to spend on these different items here in the expenses. Again, please send this in an Excel document. If you would like a PDF version back, please let me know and I'll make sure to send it back that way to you. Last year, we did site visits. I would come out to your community and witness the programming happening, and we would have a sit-down one-on-one. Given COVID, that won't be able to happen that way this year, and a lot of you are not doing in-person programming anyways. So I ask that if you do have any kind of online projects happening, that you provide me with a schedule so that I can figure out when I can try to attend that, to witness the programming. And also, I am going to schedule a one-on-one meeting with each of you just to kind of touch base, see how things are going, if there's any assistance that SICC can provide to help you to be successful in completing this project. Your success is our success. So we're just trying to help out with this approach. And that's about all we're going to need for the interim reporting. These same documents will be used again for the final reporting, but I'll do another small video on that to wrap that up. Here's my contact information, my email and my cell phone number. As you can see, we are still working from home. So if you are trying to reach me at the office, and that's not the best way at all, please contact me via my cell phone. Thank you all for your time. If you do have questions, let me know, and take care.